You just hold your thought. We would have to go to our Abuja studio where Amachree is with a guest there who is from another political party. Let's find out how the system is working on their own side of the woods. Amachree.
Well, thank you, Nyota. Joining us right now is Bishop Amachree, who is the national chairman of the Young Progressives Party, not the Young Democratic Party.
No, YPP.
He used to be of the Young Democratic Party, but is now the chairman of the Young Progressives Party. You're welcome to Sunrise today.
Thank you very much, and it's nice to have me here again.
Well, you heard Mr. Edoja there, Honorable Edoja. He says that the reason you're seeing a lot of clamorings within the APC, the reason why the congresses have not been as smooth as they ought to have been, is indicative of the fact that the party is growing. What are your thoughts on that?
But before I will even go further and respond to that, let me say, use this opportunity to congratulate Nigerians. The fact that at least there are about 60 political parties now on board. And so that means that there is an alternative to all this problem. Because we cannot continue to sit on the fence watching this kind of shenanigan going on. It is an aberration to the population of Nigeria that people will come and continue giving us the same story every day. Meanwhile, we are in this system and we know what is going on.
He says that, you know, despite all of the quarrels that have been going on within the party, you know, people are looking for solutions. They're not willing to leave. So are you trying to woo members to your party, for instance?
Of course. In every political organization, the doors will always be open, particularly even like the YPP, who have an open door as the logo of the party. We expect a lot of people indeed, you know, coming into the party. But our priority remains, you know, a place where there must be people with some kind of great deal of distinct character, people with competence, people with vision to come and drive the aspiration of politics. And I think that one of the problems that we have in this country today is a political architecture that is already, you know, ongoing.
What's wrong with it?
No, it is not palatable. It is not palatable in the sense.
How do you mean? How would you describe the political architecture?
You have the same aristocrats that are running the system. And these people, they never have any interest of the public. So by so doing, they will never have anything significant to usher to the people. And we continue to pay the price. Those who bear the brunt are people who really are not around the corridors of that, you know, process. And that's why, at the moment, it's very, very key that people begin to understand that this country indeed is tweeting into another state where in the future, if we do not come together now and rescue this country, then our children will pay the price. And I will not be part of this generation to see this happen. And I think that many others outside there, too, are thinking toward the same direction.
So how are you hoping to break it? Because some people are saying that unless the other smaller, because they call them smaller parties, they're not as big as the prominent two, the PDP and the APC, unless they unite, they might not be able to do anything about the current ruling party.
You see, there is nothing wrong, like I said. There's nothing wrong with uniting. In fact, one of the three cornerstones of the YPP is unity, service, and accountability. And we practice that every day. And I think what the APC and even the PDP, you know, are suffering today is because they lack internal party democracy. All they continue to usher to the people is what I call politics of favoritism. And I think that will not take Nigeria anywhere. So we in YPP, we are out to really change the narrative, where we will bring on board people of distinct character, like I said, and overall, we want to see how we will have leaders without greed. All you are seeing there is about greed. Most of them are just there for just their own personal interest. Let me give you an example. During the PDP time, we all know that in this country, it was a government that continues to practice what is called the governance of kleptocracy. Our money were being exploited out.
The problem is you talk about greed, but some people, just a moment, Mr. Amachree, some people will say that the problem is more about competition and managing competition. The reason why a lot of people join political parties is because they also hope to hold political office. And the competition for that will be fierce when you look at all the contending forces within a political parties. How do you think that political parties can better manage those contending forces and provide a level playing field for members of their party?
That's why I said, like, it depends on the people, the power drivers of the process. If you don't have people that have same resonance of ideology, then you certainly not get any result out of it. And that's what we are saying today. In the APC and PDP, you have a party, the PDP, like I've mentioned earlier. That was what the PDP was all about. And we have had in this, even in this your studio, where somebody came on board to tell Nigerians that he's apologizing to Nigeria, that they have always been practicing what is called politics of favoritism. They rig election, they pay. So you can see all those kind of allegations. We shouldn't take it for granted. And the APC, before they came on board, their whole attention was centered, or let me say, the vision that they had at that particular time was just centered on how they must change a particular government, just to change a particular government. So there was no any template, there was no any preparation, for any good governance to the people.
Yeah, but some people argue that, when the APC was also coming on board, one of the things that it bragged about was that its internal processes were going to be free and fair, and to a large extent, especially as we saw with the presidential primaries, to a large extent, it seemed that they were conducted in a manner acceptable to all the contestants who wanted to be president. Why do you think that they seem to be losing that currently as the party in power?
Yeah, because, like I said, because so many interests are beginning to play.
So how do you think political parties can manage that interest? Because even you, only a few months back or a year back, you were a member of Young Democratic Party. But it seems that you have, met some discontent there, and you are now the chairman of Young Progressive Party. The question is,
the YPP.
Why have you left your former party?
Because at that particular time, like you said, I was not finding a conducive environment, and I decided to leave. Don't forget, I became a chairman in Young Democratic Party. So that wasn't my problem. Being a chairman of a political party really wasn't my problem. What I aspire for my country is where I can see an institution, a well-built institution, where we can usher to the people the betterment of democracy, the true dividends of democracy, the beauty of democracy. And I'm not finding that at that particular time where I was. And as time progresses, I found out that, look, this is not where I want to be at that particular time with those group of people.
In spite of the fact
then I left.
In spite of the fact that you were chairman of the party.
Yes. That's to tell you how I am prepared to pay any price or to sacrifice if I don't find myself in a place where our ideologies resonate. I left the YDP. And when I left, about 12, 13 other members left with me. And then we started, the Association of Young Progressive Party. Therein, we had more members who had about what we were doing in the YPP.
But some people will always argue that you can never have a party where everybody agrees or see things from the same prism. That you will always find people who will disagree. What must be clear are the rules of engagement and how we will treat this disagreement. After all, human beings, they will always agree to disagree.
Look, I don't have a problem with me having a heated disagreement or argument, so to speak, with anyone. And one thing I will always respect is people's opinion. But again, you have a binding document, a constitution that binds whatever organization that you belong to. And I think that people should be able to practice that document that they have, that is enshrined. the content of that document, people must practice it. And today, I will tell you that in the YPP, we have a constitution. If people disagree, we refer you to the constitution and tell you this is what, because before you can get inducted into any organization of that magnitude, like a political party is an institution, okay? And I think that you should have the appetite of time to go through the constitution and manifesto of such an organization before you get inducted. So nobody is compelling anyone to join an organization that you must go through to make your findings. So before you get inducted, you must have made your own findings. And to some extent, being convinced to join that political party. So if you come on board, it means that your loyalty is to what you have met there.
So what do you say to those people who are aggrieved? Maybe for whatever reason the party is not following its own constitution. How would you suggest that members address the fact that a party seems to be ignoring its own constitution?
No, we refer people to the constitution.
No, I'm not talking about your party. Yeah. If you find yourself in a party where, you know, the constitution of the party is not being followed, yet you want to remain a member of that party, what do you do?
That is why, Mokbe, I told you earlier that, look, all this drama that is playing, most people are not there because of the nitty-gritty of democracy or politics. Most of them are there just to go just after their own, you know, personal, you know, gains. And that will not make us any headway in this country. I think that people should begin to look at the Nigerian project as the number one thing that we must do. And that's why today I'm very convinced with what we are doing in YPP. And I know that great men and women of same ideology, of which we are really enjoying that today. The receptiveness that the YPP is enjoying today, cut across this country, is so amazing. If we can be in 31 states today, just about 9 or 10 months old of the political of our party, then I think it's a milestone achievement. The party has moved. One thing I can assure you today, and I'm very proud to say, is that the party has moved from 0% to about 12 or 13% of membership drive. And I think that is...
Well, we wish you all the best in your future endeavors, but we have to thank you most kindly for coming on Sunrise Daily. Bishop Amachree is the chairman of Young Progressive Party. Sunrise Daily will continue in a moment. Please stay with us.
Thank you.